Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and this is going to be another wrestling review. I'm a couple weeks late, a couple weeks and a day late, but not the first time that's happened, let's get into it. It may not be Elton John and it may not be Collision, but it is Saturday. It's time for Saturday night's main event, and taking place a couple weeks ago on NBC. Of course, as always, I'm not professional wrestling reviewer or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time, and I must say, I had a pretty good time with this show. All things considered, I know some mixed opinions about some of the things that went down, so I guess we will talk about those, kind of address those. But in the meantime, let's get right into it. So if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of know how this works. If you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about each match. I'm going to go match by match. A couple things of preliminaries before we begin. For starter, Jesse Ventura is present, and Jesse Ventura, the former governor, I should say, I almost said mayor, but former governor of Minnesota is present, and so nice little throwback there, and a lot of the show is a throwback to that old school time, of like the Saturday Night main event of past as glory and everything, and from the 80s and 90s, even having the old school kind of blocky WWE logos. Jesse Ventura is there. He kind of does a little spiel in the beginning, but he's not going to be on actual commentary for the matches until the main event. Another thing I should say is that this takes place, like I said, on Peacock, but also on NBC, meaning we do have ads. And I actually watched this on Hulu, who I didn't watch it on Peacock. I instead watched it on Hulu. Considering I have Peacock Premium Plus, I wonder what that would have looked like during like the advertiser breaks and everything. But I did watch it on Hulu, mainly because I forgot it was also on Peacock. But nevertheless, I did watch on Hulu. That does mean ads, so the ads ran and everything. And admittedly, the ads not unfamiliar for me, so it wasn't that big a deal. Just figured I'd kind of talk about that and bring it up. But the other thing is that there was a dark match, a pre-show match, if you will, as the Motor City Machine Guns defeated A-Town Down Under. So, of course, the Motor City Machine Guns, that being Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, and the A-Town Down Under being Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Still teasing that breakup angle, are we, for A-Town Down Under? Either that or it might have been abandoned for the time being. And of course, first out with the Motor City Machine Guns kind of feuding with DIY now. I wonder where things will go from there. But nevertheless, getting into the show proper, starting in singles action as Drew McIntyre seeks to take down the OG Bloodline by battling Sami Zayn. So Drew McIntyre is kind of on a mission, and Drew McIntyre is back. He showed back up. He's attacked Sami Zayn. He's attacked Jey Uso. He's attacked Jimmy Uso. So Drew McIntyre, or actually, I don't think he attacked Jimmy Uso at this point in time. Or I think he did, if I'm not mistaken. And I gotta see if I can remember where we are on the timeline. And unfortunately, the wiki page I'm on just has the actual card, not a lot of the preliminaries and stuff like that. That's unless I go. Oh, here we go. Oh, it shows the full list of them. So let's. Oh no, it just takes back. Okay. Yeah, never mind then. And it also looks like they're going to be doing it again next year, or in 2025, in San Antonio, Texas, at the Frostbank Center. So interesting, and that they're doing another one so close to it. But nevertheless, back to it. So Drew McIntyre essentially is going after the OG Bloodline, and now that's put him in the crosshairs of Sami Zayn. And Sami and Drew even having kind of a exchange of words, with Sami pretty much telling Drew the equivalent of quit blaming everybody for everything. And, but Drew McIntyre, of course, does harbor a lot of resentment for the OG bloodline, but seems to be okay with the new bloodline, at least on cordial terms, even though Drew, you do remember the main person who, Drew, let me jog your memory really quickly to go back to Clash of the Castle 2022, which is where a lot of this anger is stemming from. I know you have your problems with the OG bloodline, but you do remember the guy who ultimately cost you a solo, right? But nevertheless, Drew, who feeling somewhat justified, and to an extent, yeah, and going after the OG bloodline. But nevertheless, that's a pretty good match, I would say, to start off the card here. Different contrast of styles, but I think they mesh relatively well. Drew and Sammy, of course, have faced before, but and another story thread is that Sammy has never been able to defeat Drew McIntyre one-on-one, and unfortunately, tonight continues that tradition as Sami Zayn does come up short. But like I said, nice contrast of styles. Drew McIntyre a lot more power and strength based, although he does have his agility, of course. But Sammy a lot more explosive and quick pace, and I think the intermingling of styles made for a pretty solid opener. Got the crowd woken up, and Drew McIntyre walks up, emerges victorious. So we'll see how things continue to unfold as Drew continues to wage war against the OG bloodline, and when that will put him in the crosshairs of the tribal chief, the OTC, if you will, Roman Reigns. I imagine probably around the Royal Rumble. I don't think they're going to extend it all the way until WrestleMania, but at least extend it to the Royal Rumble, especially with Roman and Solo. They're about to face off in tribal combats on the Raw Netflix premiere. So that's about to wind down, and sorry, I accidentally hit my mic. But that feud is essentially winding down. But otherwise, like I said, pretty good match. The next match is for the Women's World Championship as Liv Morgan defends against Io Sky. So Io Sky won the Battle Royal, and so he's gotten the opportunity to battle Liv Morgan here. She had won it before Survivor Series. And they ended up obviously being on opposing teams at Survivor Series. Not just because of that, but makes it extra convenient. But nevertheless, Liv and Io Sky battling it out here. Also a pretty decent match as well. Kind of a match I wish went a little bit longer, but otherwise, Io did really well. Liv did really well. Liv did get busted open, but even rewatching, because I didn't have to rewatch it for the sake of review, because I did miss quite a chunk of it because I was doing other stuff while it was going on. Even rewatching it, I missed exactly how Liv got busted open. I think it might have been off the bullet train in the corner, the double knees, but ultimately Liv pulling off the win, bloody nose and all. But Rhea Ripley confronts her afterwards. So Liv and Rhea getting set to battle once again for the title, it would seem. So pretty decent match all told. Hopefully this does mean we're getting more variety when it comes to Liv Morgan's opponents. Obviously, no disrespect to Rhea Ripley, but I think the feud's starting to get a little long in the tooth. But nevertheless, pretty decent match. But next up, speaking of Judgment Day, it's Finn's turn as he and Damian Priest both seek to battle it out in triple threat action against the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. They seek to take the World Heavyweight Championship. If unfortunately Finn almost kind of feels like a third wheel here, because obviously Finn cost Damian again back at Survivor Series against Gunther. Gunther took out Finn, and so now it's led to these three crossing paths. But the reason I say Finn almost feels like a third wheel is because it seemed like Damien's feud with Finn was kind of on the back burner until Finn emerged back again and to say, "Hey, here I am. I'm still feuding with Damien for the time being." But his match also pretty good. Triple threat at matches usually can be hit or miss. Like when you have all three guys is really doing their thing and kind of pinging off each other and working well with each other, it usually makes for a interesting, compelling match. I think for the most part that's what they were able to do for this match. Gunther getting to do his thing as the World Heavyweight Champion. Finn and Damien getting to have their interactions. Ultimately, Gunther powerbombing Finn for the win. So Finn actually taking the pin here, which is interesting. So, do I think the feud between Damien and Finn will continue even from this point? I mean, it is a possibility. Hopefully, if CM Punk does get involved, he doesn't show up in a towel and a shower cap once again, and like he did at the live show. The stuff you can get away with on live shows. And I know some people obviously have complaints about it, but trust me, that is actually pretty tame compared to some of the stuff that happens at live shows. But nevertheless, has a pretty decent triple threat there. But then next up, to crown the inaugural Women's United States Champion, and Chelsea Green in battles Michin. So, there was a tournament, and Chelsea Green and Michin have come to the finals, and this is the finals. So pretty solid match, I would say, between these two. The fans kind of split as to who they want, Chelsea or Michin, to pick up the win, and that's kind of how it's been, and pretty much almost the whole tournament. Like these two, like having these two were like the fan favorites to make it to the finals of the tournament, and either one of these ladies are ones that people wanted to be the inaugural Women's United States Champion. So having them be in the finals, I think, was a very smart move, and I guess a little extra bonus for Chelsea Green because she's in the hometown of her husband, Matt Cardona. But yeah, so having them in the finals, I think, was a smart move. Not counting the pre-show, this is the shortest match of the night, but I still think they did relatively well. Chelsea picking up the win over Michin to become the inaugural Women's United States Champion. Like I said, like I mentioned, and a couple times before, but also in my predictions, Chelsea not a bad pick to become the inaugural United States Champion, and she already had her championship celebration, and now getting those feuds ignited and everything, and having Chelsea as an inaugural champion, especially with the work she's been putting in, not just character work, but physical work such as like the crazy bump back at Money in the Bank, stuff like that. I think this kind of feels like a reward for her in a way, which is definitely really awesome to see. So congrats to Chelsea, and yeah, so a pretty decent match, all things considered there. And last but certainly not least, for the Undisputed WWE Championship, and the match that Jesse Ventura is on the call for, or the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes battles the Canadian Dream, Kevin Owens. So what a road we got here. So back at Bad Blood, Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes, put him out for a little bit, but now Cody's back, and now these two have been at each other's throats. Kevin feeling upset that Cody joined up with the OG Bloodline, battling to battle the new Bloodline, in which a lot of people do sympathize with Kevin. And me, I can kind of see both sides. On one hand, yeah, teaming with the people that we were fighting this year, or that had made Kevin's life hell for the past I don't know, 3 years or so. Oh, kind of an interesting choice, but at the same time, kind of a means to an end. And Cody, if anything, and also understandable that he'd be frustrated with the Bloodline, considering they cost him at WrestleMania. They prevented him from finishing his story. He had been battling the Bloodline as well, but Cody ultimately Cody teamed with Roman to battle this much bigger evil. Well, an evil that Kevin had also been battling. He had also been battling the new bloodline as well. Oh, but nevertheless, so Kevin and Cody have been duking out here. And what will Kevin be able to do? What he wasn't able to do previously, and that is take the the Undisputed WWE Championship from Cody Rhodes. Well, no, but it's still a really solid, really solid match and really solid main event, and both guys put on an absolute clinic here. When it comes to having two guys in not only your main event scene but your world title picture, it hardly I don't want to say it hardly gets better than Kevin and Cody, but two very, very solid choices, and it's one that a lot of people were split on. Do they pull the trigger on Owens? Do they let Cody retain? And ultimately, they did let Cody retain, but afterwards, Kevin Owens hit him with the package pile driver, so Cody was out for a little bit. But now, in present day, aka a couple weeks later, Cody is back, and so they're gonna have a ladder match at the Royal Rumble. Oh, but Kevin's and shift in the meter, her and him doing incredible character work has been awesome to see, and it culminated in a really great match here. But also, how could I forget? How could I forget Cody Rhodes coming out with the Winged Eagle Championship, baby? And yes, it's a replica. It's not the original. The original is probably in the vault somewhere. I know some people were upset that it wasn't the original, but at the same time, they were going to bring it out just to have it for the one match, and then I was gonna say have it for the one match, but Kevin has been walking around with the Winged Eagle belt since, but also Cody using a chair, so Kevin had introduced the chair, and into the ring. Cody intercepted, ultimately hit the crossroads on the chair in order to put away Kevin. Now, Jesse Ventura kind of called Cody out for that, and yeah, that's fair. But at the same time, A, it was Kevin that introduced it. B, I'm sure if a lot of us were in that scenario, we'd probably do the same thing. And I'm sure Jesse probably would have given Cody flack either way for not using it, would have called him dumb for not using the chair. But also, it does go to continue to show Cody's kind of unraveling. Between almost annihilating AJ with the steel steps in the I Quit match back at Clash of the Castle, versus his now here using the chair to the advantage, which was introduced by Kevin, and mind you, interesting to see kind of the progression for Cody. And I do like how Cody isn't 100% white meat. He do no wrong babyface. He's when necessary, Cody kind of gets his hands dirty. And if we do get the Cody heel turn at some point, you can kind of see moments like this that will be Cody's unraveling. You can tell they're kind of setting up for something big here, even beyond just this feud. What exactly will it be? Time will tell. But but still a really solid way to end off the show. That is going to do it for Saturday night's main event. And I know, kind of a short review, kind of went through it quickly, but yeah, that is that. So, in terms of the strongest and weakest match of the night, the strongest, I do think, the two world championship matches were really good. Especially the main event, which is the longest match of the night at 12 minutes. As for the weakest, maybe the Women's World Championship or the opener, or not to say they're bad, but compared to everything else. But nevertheless, that is going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you can see it as soon as it drops. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts on Saturday night's main event and my review. Did you like Saturday night's main event? Did you like my review of Saturday night's main event? And let me know. And do you also want me to do you want me to review the next Saturday night's main event that's coming up later on in January, slash in the new year. Man, it's crazy to think 2025 is almost over. But also, do you want me to review the Raw debut on Netflix? Let me know. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.